So as you can see in the title of the video, today was a no trade day. Basically, we got FOMC actually literally happening right now at the time I'm recording this. It's 2:30 p.m. So we're probably gonna see price go crazy while I recap why I didn't take a trade this morning. But let's get straight into it because these are the days that you can either basically become impatient and lose money or just simply stick to the plan, even if the plan requires you to sit on your hands and basically not do anything. So, this is actually the second no trade day of the week. We had one on Monday. Yesterday, we caught a 2-1. If you guys saw the last YouTube recording of that, today, so far, we have nothing. And honestly, I don't plan on taking anything today either. Monday, based on the strat that I will cover again here today, we basically had 10 a.m. open right up here, and it looked like we were actually gonna get some entries for longs here, but we never quite actually broke above 10 a.m. open price on this day. We just kind of ended up melting off, and again, no entries presented. So very similar thing today where we had 10 a.m. open price, and then really from there we just tanked and basically have stayed under past our window. So especially with FOMC, there's really nothing that interests me to take a trade at this point. And I want to cover the two reasons why I think we didn't get entries for a couple of the days this week, and really what to do in these situations. So yeah, let's get straight into it, man. Number one, if we really look at the higher time frames, like the daily, even if you look at the weekly, we have had back-to-back bearish weeks, starting basically the beginning of November, mid-November, and now the third week of November. We've just been on a bearish tear. And so what happens is it, no matter how you trade, if let's say you're scalping on a 5-minute, whatever trend or momentum is happening on the 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, it's going to be really hard for you to counter trend trade against those time frames. If you're looking at 1 and 4 hour candles for entries, then you're going to be having to fight against daily and weekly if it's against your analysis as well. So higher time frames are always going to end up kind of deciding where things end up when it's all said and done. And if we want to have trades that run easy, smooth, hit multiple, hit high R multiples to really squeeze the most out of each trade, then we need everything to really line up. And sometimes you're gonna have one time frame say bullish and the higher time frames say bearish, and it's gonna feel like you're in a tug of war and you're not really able to find good entries that actually run for decent gains. That's why I've been kind of satisfied with 2-1s, where usually I'm trying to get 3-4 plus, just because Monday and Wednesday we had bullish confirmations, but we had a still overall super bearish trend on the higher time frames kind of pulling against us. All right, so yeah, today if we kind of replay back to about, let's say, 10:30, couple things here. We noticed that we had a 4-hour candle from 6 to 10 a.m. that printed very bullish. We saw from 6 a.m. onward basically a dip back into Asia. Price shifted back above Asia and basically just took off from there. And that left behind a lot of fair value gaps. I mean, you can clearly see all these fair value gaps left behind. So when we were on the live session today, I did let everybody know, like, hey, we're probably going to see shorts here. If we do cross back below 10 a.m. open price, we're going to see shorts. Now, the strategy does not call for us to look for shorts here because we're usually trying to roll with the previous candle's momentum. If we had a bearish 4-hour candle, fine, but we had a very bullish 4-hour window from 6 to 10. So I'm looking to really continue that. Now, what I want to see is price actually pull back, come into some of these areas of demand, maybe fill some of these fair value gaps and ultimately come back higher, and then look for our trades, right? PO3 stuff. But some days you're just not going to get it. And part of me obviously sees that we're able to potentially short from here and start filling maybe some of these fair value gaps. But that just totally defeats the purpose of having a process. And in the long run, if you have a process, if you have a strategy, if you have a system, and then you're like, hey, I'm going to just purposefully go against the process today because today's different, you might get away with it. You might actually win a trade. Like if I would have done that today, we would have won a trade. But in the long run, if you go against your system of confirmations and you happen to hit for profit that day, it just opens the door for you to want to keep doing that habitually. And the whole point of having a system or process with rules is because you back tested it, you got data, you saw, hey, if I do X, Y, Z, I'm going to end up profitable over the next 10, 20, 50, 100 trades. But the minute that you start to kind of do your own thing, whenever you feel like the market is going to just do something else, I don't know. Like I was telling everybody in the session today, if I go for shorts here and I go against all confirmations and I take a L, that L is going to bother me so much more than me following my system and taking an L, because I know my system is going to generate losses. It's going to happen. But I at least know that I'm following the system, and I know that over a series of trades, I'm going to be fine. But if I purposefully go against that, I'm just leading to impulse. I'm leading to judgment calls way too much. And those losses, when you don't follow your plan and still take a loss, they just do a lot more damage to your psychology than anything, from my experience. So I'd rather miss out on a move. I'd rather miss out on 2 moves for the week than to break my process. Now, obviously, if we say, hey, like, let's find a way to know when to not go off of the previous 6-hour window, then that's different. We can always tweak our process. We can always look to find ways to improve the way we look at this strategy to incorporate these situations where maybe, hey, if we're on a really bearish daily or weekly trend and we're getting bullish confirmations at 6 a.m., may that override the 6 a.m. candle, and let's just actually focus on doing the opposite. That's something that I will explore over time as we see our edge kind of play out in different market conditions, different scenarios, etc. So the only thing that could make my strategy today much more proficient in general is if our higher time frame trend is in alignment with what we're trying to do with this 6 to 10 a.m. window and all the other confirmations that I look for. So, for example, if we were to go with a 4-hour bearish candle from 6 to 10 a.m. and we have all the other confirmations of Asia, VWAP, and the daily and weekly is also in the same direction, now our probability is just going to be that much better. And so those are things to be aware of. So that's the reason why we've had 2 no trade days so far, Monday and then Wednesday. And yes, if we were to have shorted 10 a.m. open to go with the daily and weekly trend, we would have been up, super up so far this week. So interesting little notes to take for myself and for the community that follows this strategy. But yeah, man, pretty much if we fast forward to this, we saw price just immediately tank and never really look back. Let's see if FOMC did anything crazy. Okay, so far, no, we haven't seen FOMC really do anything. I do expect us to come back above these prices here. Really just depends, but the higher time frame trend has just been very strong. In fact, really since Sunday Market Outlook, which I run here on YouTube Lives every Sunday, we were talking about the higher time frame objective really looking to be these lows. We just have a lot of lows that were stacked up really since like late September, mid-October. Like this level really has kind of sat as a major, support level for a few months. And now that we've kind of, peaked at this all-time high and started moving our way back down, it just seems like this is gonna be a very strong high time frame drawn liquidity. And once we have that, I mean, I don't know, are we gonna end up seeing a really strong recovery? That's very, very possible. But the whole point of me bringing this up is because for the week, I was bearish to basically hit this point. But again, following our confirmations during our window, it called for 2 bullish days. And, the good thing is we didn't take losses. At the end of the day, we have a break even and a 2R win on Tuesday. No trades Monday, no trades Wednesday. So all in all, plus 2R week. And there's 2 days left. So NVIDIA earnings as well today at market closure. So between FOMC and earnings at 4 p.m., I mean, NASDAQ is just going to go ballistic. So we'll see how exactly that ends up materializing. But heading into tomorrow, the aftermath of FOMC and an earnings report for NVIDIA on the same day is just going to be wild. So that's it. Again, not much to talk about since we didn't live execute, but not executing a position is kind of like executing a position in the sense where, we could have avoided taking losses. And as long as you follow a system in the long run, that is what ultimately matters for consistency. A lot of people can find good trades one day or even a couple days, but it's about the longevity of week to week, month to month, year to year. And a lot of that just comes down to process-based thinking, probability thinking, and not just trying to make the most out of every single day, trying to, switch up the way you look at price and the way you do things every single day to bend to the situation. We want to let the situation bend to what we want, not the other way around. So we'll see tomorrow what's up with the aftermath of FOMC and the NVIDIA earnings. But that's pretty much it for today's video. So again, keep in mind, higher time frame momentum is key, and it doesn't hurt to lose. It doesn't hurt to not take trades if it's not following your process, because losing trades that you took not following your process is really the worst thing you could do. So other than that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, turn on those post notifications, all that good stuff. And one last note, we actually had a lot of people filling out the private mentorship Google Forms. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and click the link in the description of this video. Let's get in contact and see what we can do together. All right, so appreciate y'all. We'll be back tomorrow.